The United States congratulates the people of Burma on the election and commend all of the people and institutions in the country who worked together to hold a peaceful and historic election. We're seeing initial reports of results, but we encourage everyone to wait for the Union Election Commission's official results and their final reports from domestic and international observer missions before making assessments. But what is clear is that for the first time ever, millions of people in Burma voted in a meaningful, competitive election. And despite some structural and systemic flaws, we believe that Sunday's vote represents an important step in Burma's democratic reform process. The U.S. Embassy team was impressed by the enthusiasm of the people of Burma, which was indicated by the long lines, apparent high voter turnout, and the diversity of voices coming to the polls. Young people, women, and members of ethnic groups were all represented, and they were keen to have their voices heard. We're also encouraged by public statements from President Thein Sein and the Commander-in-Chief, saying they would accept the results, as well as Aung San Suu Kyi and the National League for Democracy's remarks encouraging calm and acceptance of the results. It's important for all political leaders to work together to form a new government and for stakeholders to help to ensure calm and pursue national reconciliation. So with that out of the way, Josh, we can go to your questions.
Thanks, Josh. Why don't we just stay right there for a minute?
Okay.
The early results from this election seem to be showing a pretty overwhelming victory if things continue to go the way they are for Aung San Suu Kyi's party. The president has obviously invested a lot in Myanmar's emergence from military rule. She can't become the president, but she's basically said if her party wins an overwhelming victory, she will act as the leader of the country anyway. Given the emphasis that the U.S. has placed on a rigorous democratic process in Myanmar, do you see it possible for her to have a role as the country's leader, even if she's not actually elected under their constitution?
Mm-hmm. Well, let me say a couple things about that, Josh. I mean, I think most directly I would say that it's already clear that Aung San Suu Kyi has had a powerful voice in bringing about some much-needed reform and change to the political system inside of Burma. But ultimately, what set of official responsibilities she have will be the responsibility of the Burmese people and the Burmese government to determine. The second thing is, we've acknowledged that there were some flaws in the political system there, and I would include in that category the law that specifically targets her by suggesting that because she has I believe the law is that because she has a spouse that lives in another country, that she cannot serve as president. And so this is an indication that additional reforms are needed and additional work needs to be done to bring about the kind of effective and representative democracy we'd like to see. Another one of those rules is that right now 25% of the parliamentary seats are guaranteed to the military. So there are some imperfections, to put it mildly. But there's also no denying the rather dramatic change that we've seen inside of Burma. And the United States has played an important role in trying to nurture that change and give the Burmese people more of a voice in the governing of their country. And the Burmese people can continue to count on the United States being a partner and strongly supporting their efforts to realize the kind of government that they'd like to have for their country.